My father raised his wine glass, then turned toward me as though I were an unwelcome stain on his pristine dinner setting. "This one doesn't belong anymore," he announced. Laughter erupted from my cousins. My sister tapped her glass with hers and chimed in. Finally, I scanned the long polished table, 14 relatives, all linked by blood. Not a single one looked surprised. I smiled, not with anger, but something quieter. "Then the bill's on you," I said simply and rose to my feet, not in shame, not in fury. I folded my linen napkin neatly on the chair, walked past the man at the piano, descended the marble staircase, and slipped through the revolving door. It was exactly 8:43 p.m. The steak hadn't even arrived yet. Once, I believed that family meant loyalty. That shared bloodlines came with a built-in safety net. That even the harshest among them would circle the wagons when life turned dark. But I'd been wrong. My parents didn't raise me with love. They raised me for usefulness. I wasn't legacy. I wasn't pride. I was labor. First, it was simple errands. Then babysitting. Eventually, unpaid work managing my father's finances, disguised as teaching me responsibility. My sister, Nadia, was the favored child. Applauded, spoiled, celebrated. She got the admiration. I got ignored and leftovers. Still I stayed. Some of us mistake resilience for affection. The breaking point came last spring. Mom needed surgery. I drove her to every doctor's visit, rearranged my job schedule, slept upright in hospital lounges. Nadia, she flew in for a weekend and somehow left with all the credit. 2 weeks later, at another family dinner, my father took me aside. "You're overstepping," he told me. "This family doesn't need repair. Just obedience." Obedience. That word stuck in my chest like a bone. So I began paying attention. I noticed bills for Mom's medical treatments being funneled through my name, false charges buried deep in insurance records. It wasn't a mistake. Nadia had accessed my accounts. She bundled the expenses under my identity. That's when I stopped hoping for an apology and started preparing. I didn't explode. That's what they were expecting. Emotional chaos. Accusations. A performance. I gave them none of it. Instead, I smiled. I kept attending family functions. Played the part. Meanwhile, I hired a forensic accountant. Quietly submitted a fraud report. Called a restaurant booked for Mom's birthday 2 months ahead of time. Reserved it under my name. Paid the deposit. And gave the maitre d' very specific instructions. When the final bill is prepared, deliver it directly to Mr. and Mrs. Ozra's table. I would not be paying it. The evening arrived. I wore a black silk dress and crimson lipstick. I sat at the center of the table, not tucked into the corner. I was the first to raise my glass. To family, may we always reveal who we truly are. They chuckled. I didn't. Half an hour after I left, the maitre d' returned with the check. He placed the bill, $2, $800, right between my father and Nadia. The room went silent. The laughter dried up. Nadia reached for her purse. My father stopped her. My mother asked the server to try calling me again. They tried 6 times in 20 minutes. I ignored each one. At 9:15 p.m., Nadia texted, "Are you serious?" At 9:22, my father sent, "This is disgraceful. You're paying this." I responded with a photo, a printout of the falsified documents. The ones now part of a state investigation. The ones Nadia had tampered with. Underneath, I typed, "Think of it as a tip." 3 weeks later, the auditors froze the family business account. My father's finances were flagged. Nadia lost her job at the investment firm. Conflict of interest. Then, for the first time in years, they all came to my apartment together. No shouting. No tears. No smug smiles. They stood quietly in the hallway, looking smaller than I remembered. "We didn't think you'd take it this far," my father said. "And I didn't think you'd betray me," I replied. He looked down. "You said you wanted to be independent," Nadia muttered. I stepped back and motioned to the elevator. "You wanted me gone. Well, now you have it." I haven't heard from them since. No lawsuits. No fake holiday messages. Just silence. And I've never felt lighter. People say revenge is chaotic. I disagree. Justice is clean. Strategic. Unemotional when necessary. I didn't destroy the bridge. I just ensured I'd never be dragged across it again. This year, I reserved a rooftop table. Just 4 of us. Real friends. We raised our glasses under string lights and laughed like people who genuinely choose each other. This time, the wine was on me. Every sip worth it.